JLP is talking to a 25-year-old man who is still living at home with his mother, and the mother and father are divorced, and he is still living at home with the mother. And you can listen to what Jesse has to say.
Yeah.
How old are you?
25.
Why are you living with her? You're never going to grow up living with her.
Yeah.
Why are you there?
Yeah, that's one thing I agree with. You're never going to get older. You're never going to grow up as far as your mental state. If you're still living with your mother, it's just not going to happen. And that's one thing that people got to understand. Men have to understand. You're not going to, if you got a full belly, if you got a full stomach, you're not going to go get food. You're not going to go out there and look for food yourself if somebody's giving it to you. If you don't learn how to fish, if somebody brings you a fish every day and you don't learn how to fish, you're never going to learn how to fish. You're getting fed. You get a full belly. It's like being on drugs. If you're on drugs, you're getting that energy of comfort that you long for, and that's why it's so addictive.
I made the wrong decisions. I should be having a career, getting a good job going, but it's only that this year I realize, hey, you got to start doing something because you are 25. This year I just woke up and realized you are 25.
That's right.
You have a girlfriend I have a girlfriend who's 22 years old. She's a law officer, and I look at both my mom and my girlfriend and realize, hey, these two are doing something to you. Your mom's telling you that, you got to grow up, and it's only this year that I realize, hey, both of them are right. Are you going to be 30 and still living with your mom?
But if you don't stop resenting your mother and you end up marrying this woman that you're dating, it's going to be a mother-son relationship because you said she's a lawyer?
Yeah, if you don't heal the relationship with your mother, and doesn't even mean you have to be like she has to be in your life, but if you don't understand the fact, if you don't forgive her and understand the fact that she made the only decisions that she made from what she knows, from where she is. And, it's just like all of us, we make choices from where we are at. And, that's something I've seen over and over again, in my own life is I make choices and decisions on things depending on where I am. And from that place, you're not gonna make any choices beyond that. And we have to understand that they're doing the best they can. It doesn't mean that we have to allow them to be around them if they're still doing this kind of stuff. Of course not. But we have to understand they're doing what they can, and maybe they're never going to change. They're never going to get out of that place that they're in. And that's fine. You don't need them to be any guiding force in your life. As a matter of fact, that hangs you up. But you got to forgive them, understand they did the best they could, and move on. And understand that part of your life is over with. Come back to the Father above. Come back to Him, and have that Him as your guiding force in life.
No, officer.
Oh, officer? Yeah. Oh, officer. She's just like your mother. She's going to control you too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is she already controlling you?
She can be, yeah.
Yeah. You got to forgive your mother. Why did you put him out at 18? Where's your father?
Colorado.
Where?
Colorado.
Where?
Divorce.
Oh, Colorado. And did you grow up with him?
No, he wasn't there.
How do you feel about him?
Still waiting for him to call. I'm always the one calling him, but I just decided that, I want to see if he will call me. And hasn't happened.
Don't do that. That's such a woman's way of dealing with things. I ain't gonna call. I'm not gonna call him unless he called me. That's not love. If your father could do better, he would. Just as if you could do better, you would. It's the same spirit. And you have no right treating your father like that. Here's what I recommend because of time. I'm out of time here. Here's what I recommend. Forgive your mother because she couldn't help herself. It wasn't in her. You hear how her mother messed her up. She became just like her mother. And then she recreated you in her image as her mother recreated her in her image. All right? So you got to, just like you can't help yourself, just realize your mother did the best she could. It was wrong, but she did the best. And forgive her. And then move out. And do not get married right now. Don't go live with this woman that you're dating because it's going to end up in the same situation. You're going to hate yourself. She's going to hate you for being weak, and it's going to be a mess.
Yeah. You got to work on yourself first, and then because right now, man, if you guys move in together, it's going to be a mess. I mean, you're going to wind up looking to her as your mother, and she's going to wind up presenting you, and you're going to wind up in a way presenting her, and it's going to wind up in a bad situation. If you guys get married, it's going to wind up in divorce. And that's one thing, man. Again, I've seen not exactly this exact situation, but I've seen similar situations in my own life. And, I've gone through certain things. I'm still going through certain things. Of course, I'm a lot older than this young man, but it's something that we got to learn to forgive our birth parents, our mother and our father. And because if we have that hatred, that anger inside of us, it blocks us from allowing God to work through us. And if God's not working through us, that anger that's inside of us, that anger is Satan. It's the devil. It's, the energy of what you would call those entities, those things that we call the devil and Satan. That is the energy from that. And, it's something we've got to pay attention to, because we can't have the energy of God flowing through us with the energy of Satan blocking us. And that is anger. And it doesn't mean you have to accept what your parents have done to you. It just means you have to realize what they've done and realize they've done the best they can and move on. Even if you have to cut people out of your life in a way, or at least not see them very often, or, and sometimes you have to do that, especially for a while. You have to realize that you're getting kind of an injection of poison into your system every time you see them, every time you get that, because that kind of brings you back. And that's something I think people need to realize.
You got to grow up first. And the way you grow up is by forgiving and then go out on your own, even if you have to live on the streets. At least you have something to pull yourself up. But as long as you have a comfort zone at home, you're never going to get better. You got to move out. Get a car wash job or do something. That makes sense?
Makes sense.
You got to fight for your life, because your mother wants you to have it, but she can't give it to you. Your girlfriend cannot give it to you. You got to go for it. And the beginning is to become yourself. And the way you become yourself, by forgiving your mother and your father. And call your father up and have a conversation with him. Let him know that you needed him. You now understand he couldn't help it. And you're sorry for being angry at him too. And show your father and mother love by being honest with them and fair. And God will honor that man. It'll be amazing. You got to fight for your life.
Yeah, one thing I've also noticed too, like in my own life, a lot of times the father kind of makes excuses for the mother, and vice versa, and allows them to be whatever toxic form of whatever's going on, and they don't check their a lot of times the fathers don't check their wives, and they don't say, you know what you're doing is wrong, and the way that you're dealing with this is wrong, and the way that you're dealing with the kids is wrong, and they end up, they're trying to appease their spouse. A lot of times the husbands they're trying to appease their spouse, make their spouse look better, at least in my experience, and that they are willing to kind of throw their kids under the bus and throw other people under the bus in order to appease their spouse, so they kind of get in their good graces, so to speak. And I think that can be a very damaging thing to young men and young women, kids, because they are understanding that their father in so many ways is allowing, they're too weak themselves. They're allowing their spouse to behave in certain ways unchecked, and they haven't healed their own relationship with their own mother, and they're allowing this to occur. And of course, the more they allow it, the worse the wife gets. Their spouse gets, the more needy, the more victim-y, the more, and everything becomes about them. They're narcissistic anyways, and it becomes more so and more so and more so and more so, and it's not going to change unless somebody says to them, "No, I'm not going to give you what you want. You're going to sit back, and they're going to have to take a back seat. You're going to have to sit back here with the evil and whatever's coming out of you. You sit back here, and I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of that." And then they move forward with their own life and forget them and forget about it. That's not their job. It's not your job to heal your mother or your father. It's the job of God, and they got to turn back to God.
I know a man that I've been working with for years, and he didn't forgive his mother. He still lived with her. He just turned 60 years old, and he's still at home. And he keeps telling me, "I wish I had listened. I wish I had." It's not too late in my mind, but to him, he thinks it's too late. He's 60 years old. He hates his mother. She hates him because he's weak. And she made him that way. So you got to get away, man. You don't, in all honesty, you don't really need a girlfriend right now because you don't know what to do. You're too subject to women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you don't need a girlfriend. You need to grow up first because you're not going to be any good to any woman at this point. And then your girlfriend going to resent you for being so nothing, so weak. What do you think?
Absolutely.
And how does it feel to hear this?
It's the truth.
Yeah, speaking to me.
Yeah.
To what?
Yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
So when you start working on it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first step is to realize I'm wrong for resenting my parents. They couldn't help themselves. They really couldn't. And have a talk with your mother about it, your father, and God will forgive you. Are you doing my silent prayer yet?
What is it?
It's a quiet prayer that shows you how to be still so God can catch.
Yeah, I mean, that's his silent prayer, man. If you haven't checked it out, it's something that I've checked out recently and I've done a few times, and it's really pretty good. It reminds me of a prayer that a mentor of mine sent to me back a few years back, and it's really a good good prayer. But look, guys, I'm going to cut the video here. But if you would, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. You son of a.